Okay, so within this video, I'm going to show you how I made 120,000 Rand every month using a digital marketing strategy. So the first thing I needed was a funnel, a marketing funnel. So let's just draw out a quick funnel over here. I'm going to try and do this video as quick as I can. So in this marketing funnel, I had 6 different stages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the bottom. So let's just make sure these are 6 stages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first one was my reach. Second one was my clicks. Third, leads. I had engagement. I had potentials, and then I had at the bottom sales. We are aiming for sales. I wanted to make 120,000 Rand in revenue within 30 days. How was I going to do this? I needed an ad. I needed to be able to reach X amount of people out there. So I knew everybody that I would reach online would not convert into sales. So I decided, no, I need a marketing budget. And you don't obviously need this amount. I had 15,000 Rand for my marketing budget. That was for 30 days. Now, you might have less than this, and you know what, it doesn't really matter. You can have anywhere from 2,000 Rand to 10,000 to 100,000 Rand. The more you spend in your budget, the more people you can reach, and obviously the more money you can make. But I would highly advise that in the beginning, start small and start scaling up. First, get yourself a model that works. There's nothing worse than actually putting in marketing funding into a model that you are running and you're not getting any leads, you're not getting any conversions. You've tested this model and it maybe takes a little longer to actually work. Make sure that you're pushing in an X amount of money into this funnel and that it starts bringing in customers eventually. Now, I did this in 30 days, and the only reason why I could do this in 30 days is because I had a virtual product. Now, it doesn't really matter. You can actually have a standard product from a service or a shop where you just sell things from off the shelf, but you want to get leads. This will also work. So let's have a quick look over here. First thing that I did at the top of my funnel was I knew that I had 15,000 people. Now, this was about 2 to 3 years back, actually a bit longer, could have been 4 years. I knew that I was paying 5 cents per impression. So what is an impression? An impression means that Facebook sort of serves your ad, the offer that you have, to X amount of people based on your budget. So for 15,000 Rand, I could get about 5 cents per impression, and that gave me 300,000 impressions. That means that 300,000 people in this first stage of my funnel could see my ad. Now, what ad did I build? Okay, so let me show you what this ad is. Maybe I should also mention the product I was selling was a virtual online course, and I was selling it for about 2,500 Rand, if I remember back in the day. I built a beautiful Facebook ad. It had a first stage and a second stage. What I mean by first and second is just put first and second was the first part of this ad had a beautiful image with an offer. It had some text, and then again it had a button at the bottom. Now, this button was known as a click, and this click would go into the next stage. And the next stage was a form where somebody would give me their information, name, email address, contact number. And why were they exchanging this with me? The only reason was I had an offer in this, a lead magnet. What was my lead magnet? A free webinar. I wanted to be able to show people at the bottom here that, join this webinar. In this webinar, I was going to teach you how to sort of do your digital marketing from home. I was going to give some helpful tips. It all was going to happen in 45 minutes. So it was absolutely free. You could join this webinar and get some helpful information through it. And best of all, cost you nothing. So, why not? And I wish obviously more people took part in this, but not everybody did. Now, this is where we're going to get into a bit more technical part towards the bottom. We need to look at our clicks. We need to look at our leads, engagement, prospects, and sales. So I'm going to break it all down for you over here. First stage, 15,000 Rand, 5 cents per impression. That means that I was getting about 300,000 people who were viewing this part, stage 1 of my ad. Now, how many people from these 300,000 people actually went through? I only had about 4,680 people take part in that first stage over there. They clicked on the ad. Not all of them went in and completed this and became leads. No, I only had about, let's try a different pen over here. I only had 1.56% of people from this 300,000 click on the ad. But remember, I was billed about 5 cents per impression. So it doesn't matter. I got billed that. Whether people clicked on it or not, Facebook served this ad. They did their job, showed people the ad. The ad obviously didn't relate to everybody. Only 4,680 people clicked on this ad. Next, we get to our leads. Okay, leads are people that have seen the offer and decided, I want to watch this webinar. This webinar is free, obviously, and it looks really interesting and it looks really cool. I'm going to learn something out of this. So we get into our next stage over here. People that entered into our lead funnel. I had about 1,800, and I think it was 1,825 people who would enter the information over there and would become my lead. Now, these are still cold leads. You need to remember, they're important. Most businesses and business owners get this wrong, and I actually do mention this many, many times in all the courses that I do, is that you need to understand there's a difference between your leads and your prospects. Leads are people that have just agreed to sort of hear more about your business. So we're not going to buy from you today. We just want to know a bit more about your business. We either download a brochure. Whatever happens between the download of the brochure to the end of the sale is all up to you, how much you engage with these people. And that's going to bring us to our next stage. Engagement at the E stage. Now, in the engagement stage, we need to look at, these are obviously the leads that I've got. I've built a whole sequence. Let's go for my red pen. I've built a beautiful sequence of emails, one after another. This went on for 25 days. So this was a sequence of emails all about building up engagement. You know what? You've signed up for my free webinar. You are maybe excited about it. I want to just thank you for joining. I want to sort of send you more helpful information about this webinar. I know the webinar hasn't started yet. All I'm doing is building up a bit of hype. I want to make sure that I get as many people out of this 1,825 people, prospects, leads as well. This is called leads. I want them to be able to get excited about this webinar because I know what's going to happen. The day the webinar is going to pitch up there, 1,825 people are not all going to view my webinar. So I want to make sure they stay engaged. And also it helps to build a bit of brand growth with these people, tell them more about the business, what we do, and who knows, they might even buy before we get into the webinar. But that obviously wasn't the case. So let's get into our next stage. At the end of the day, I actually had 1,004 people who actually engaged with this. The remaining people either gave me a wrong email address, the number didn't work, they weren't opening the emails, which was fine. I was sort of okay with this whole thing. I still had 1,004 people. Now, before I move into this next stage, we need to understand we're talking about leads over here. Okay? The engagement all depends on how well you are building emails, how well you are engaging with your clients, how relevant the content is that you're designing in here and sending them based on what they've signed up for. If I was doing a webinar and suddenly I start selling, spare car parts over here, people are going to unsubscribe. My engagement is going to drop immediately. Everything's just going to go downhill. So I've got to stay relevant, keep adding value. Don't sell, just keep adding value all the time. And obviously we can speak about email journeys in depth. I can go on for days about email journeys, but I'm not going to do that right now. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we engage as many people as possible and end up with potentials. Now these potentials were people that showed up eventually to my webinar. I built up so much hype about this webinar, the things that people are going to learn about it, that only 321 people showed up for this webinar. Okay, now let's just have a quick look from the top over here. I'm actually going to take the blue pen. Whoops. Out of the 300,000 people, 4,680 people converted on actually clicking on this ad. Out of that, I had a 39% of people become leads. Okay? Not bad. Those are actually really not bad conversion stats. Anywhere from like 20 is actually not bad. So 39 is actually a really good stat. From there onwards, I had about 55% of people. Going over the number over here. Just rub that out there. Makes such a mess. 55% of people would convert into this next stage, and those were the people that were sort of engaging. Right? The leads started engaging, had a 55% engagement rate, also, once again, not a bad number. And at the end of the day, I had people that showed up to this webinar. I had, what was it, 32% of people from 1,004, 321 of them actually showed up this webinar. I know it sounds terrible. If you look back at this number at the top over here, we spent 15,000. I spent 15,000 Rand to get 321 people to just show up to the webinar. And you know what the other depressing part was? All 321 people didn't buy. Some people actually watched for like 5 minutes and decided, you know, this is rubbish, and they turned it off, or they just decided this wasn't for them and just left. Yeah, I mean, it's really bad if you look at the stats that way, but that's not it. Let me show you where the magic comes in. In this webinar, it was about 45 minutes long. I specifically designed 30 minutes of just delivering content, you know, teaching people online, giving away some free downloads inside this webinar. It was all online. The people that eventually reached the end of this webinar, there was like 10 to 15 minutes left of the webinar. What I did was I did a sales pitch where I told them about this course. So I had a course that I was selling for, oh man, number 5 is extremely hard to draw at an angle. Let's try this at the right angle. 2,500 Rand was the course. And out of 321 people, 48 people would buy this course. Now that sounds also not so great, but if you look at the numbers, 2,500 multiplied by 48 people who bought this course all within 30 days equaled 120,000 Rand in revenue within 30 days. And obviously the only reason I could do this is it was an online product, but I mean, if you had to sell, let's just say, a specific consumer product out there, and you were giving people, or you built a beautiful ad for somebody to download a brochure, 1,800 people would download this brochure. You emailed them over a long period of time, depending on your product, that obviously varies. You emailed them with the benefits of this product after they've downloaded it, you know, what this product can do, how it can improve their lives. You basically tick off all the boxes, and you have 321 people end up emailing you back about this product, and eventually within 30 to 60 days, 48 people would buy this product. And let's just say the product was 2,500 Rand, you would have the exact same results. So whether it's online, whether it's a shop, this method works. And obviously, the company that I own today, we do digital marketing, we build funnels for people. We follow these steps, and all we do over there is we just build multiple ads, we do multiple email journeys, engagement, we do retargeting for clients, we use different platforms, and we really make sure that our clients' budgets go as far as they can go. We keep the ads also fresh, we make sure that they don't get stale, they die off, because these ads do die off. I mean, you reach 300,000 people and there's only like 900 or like just say 1 million people in your segment that you're trying to reach. You've got to keep these things fresh. So that's what we do at RAS Digital Marketing. But I wanted to show you exactly how I managed to get to 120,000 Rand using this specific funnel. And I mean, you can just close the gap between the two over there. Not a bad return on my investments. If I'm not mistaken, this return on investment was 702%. I'm sure my numbers are correct, I'll just double check that, but 702% was my return on investment at the end of the day with this strategy. So this was just a really quick overview of how a digital marketing strategy works from a point where you run an ad, have people enter your conversion funnels, and sort of at the end of the day buy from you. If you've got any questions, please feel free. This video is actually going to be on Facebook or YouTube, so there might be a comment section at the bottom. If you comment at the bottom, if you've got any questions, I'll be happy to answer some of them for you. Maybe I can even give you some tips on certain things. But yeah, hopefully this shed some light on how I got to this amount. And I've obviously kept on doing this months over months, just doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same amount of revenue. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and see you.